Ah, yes. Now this is gonna be good. This is a good way to start the morning off. A nice thing of coffee. But I almost forgot. Early morning Twitter. Yes, let us look and see just what has the internet up in shambles today, shall we?
God, Undertale is all anyone ever talks about anymore. What, do they not play any other games? What, do you got no other interests?
Guys, look at my papyrus drawing, isn't it so good?
I don't know why anybody likes Undertale. I mean, it doesn't even have guns in it. I mean, you can't have a game without guns. That's nice.
Papyrus of Persona! Undertale is better than Ocarina of Time.
So I just met this girl, and she made spaghetti for me. Oh no, she met all my standards.
Why does everyone keep using Undertale memes? I don't understand them.
Yeah, don't.
Oh, yes.
Hello everyone, I am LegenGary, and as you can see, we're going to be talking about Undertale today. I know this is a bit late, but hey, later's better than never, right? Okay, look, I'm sorry, okay? I didn't know anything about the game when it first came out. I needed money for food, I need money for gas, I didn't know anything about it, it happened so fast, stop looking at me like that!
Undertale. By now, just about everyone knows about this game. I know it, you know it, that old guy from the 700 Club knows it.
Peyton says recently I was looking through my daughter's phone and I found many pictures of a cartoon skeleton with one glowing blue eye and wearing a hoodie. When I asked my daughter why she had such demonic images on her phone, she told me there was nothing wrong with it because it was from a video game.
If you got something more wholesome that she can enjoy, provide it for her. You must have something. Oh, he's just playing a video game. Yeah, sure. Bum, bum, bum.
To be honest, I had no idea if I would even like this game when I first heard about it. A lot of people said that this game was similar to Earthbound, which, personally, really didn't get me excited for it. Not that I don't like that game, I just haven't really played that much of Earthbound, or any of the Mother series for that matter. But after looking at a few videos and listening to that jazzy soundtrack, I was sold. The game was mainly created by Toby Fox, who is also known for his work on an Earthbound Halloween hack, and for his work on the webcomic series Homestuck. The game was released to the masses in September 2015, and has gained quite a big following over the past few months.
The question, however, still remains. Is this game as good as everyone says it is, or is it just simply a product of overhype? Well, let's take a look.
Right off the bat, we are treated to a cutscene giving us some backstory. Long ago, two races ruled the Earth, humans and monsters. And then war broke out for some reason. That's not entirely explained, but it's not really important. All you need to know is a war broke out. Humans and monsters, they were fighting. Yeah! At the end of the battle, the humans were victorious and sealed the monsters underground. Many years later, some kid walks up a mountain, falls in a hole, and is now in the monsters world. So now it's up to us to bring the kid back to their own home world.
This is a simple premise for sure, but trust me, it gets a lot more complex as it goes on.
The first thing we can do is select a name for the human. Here's a pro tip for this. Do not select the name Frisk for your first playthrough, because it unlocks the hard mode, and trust me, you do not want to start off with that. But if you really want to use Frisk, just add another K and you'll be good to go. Now the first person you meet along this journey is this guy, Maui the Flower, who at first is all like, "Hey man, let me show you the ropes of this wonderful world you've just discovered." But then immediately after that, immediately, tries to kill you. In this world, it's kill or be killed.
You know, for being a flower, you're kind of a jerk. Guess who's not getting their fertilizer today?
But before we can kick the bucket, another monster shows up and kicks Flowey out. This lady is Toriel, and she helps you and guides you through the ruins you fell into. Oh, now I get why her name is Toriel. 'Cause she helps you through the tutorial.
Ha! Ha! Ha!
Oh, Toby, you sly, mischievous fox! Eventually, she will let you go on your own, and it is here that we kinda get a feel of how this game plays. As you probably know by now, Undertale is an RPG, and for the most part, it's pretty standard. At least, field-wise. You pick up and interact with various items and NPCs with a given button, and you can also open up a menu to examine your items or use them when you need to.
As I said, all this stuff is pretty standard. But now, here comes the unique part about Undertale. Everything else.
For starters, let's talk about the battle system. In a battle, your menu has 4 groups of commands: Fight, Act, Item, and Mercy. Fighting and Item are pretty self-explanatory. The other 2, Act and Mercy, however, make up the very mechanic which makes Undertale interesting. For you see, Undertale is a game in which nobody has to die. I'm serious, you can beat this entire game without killing one single enemy. And how you go about doing this is by using the Act and Mercy commands. Each enemy has some sort of particular quirk to them, or some sort of action that you need to do in order to spare them. Depending on what enemy you face, you're presented with several different actions that you can do. At the start of the game, these actions usually just require one action in order to spare the monster, but eventually you will come across enemies that will require multiple actions that you will either have to repeat or do in a specific order. In a way, it kind of turns each fight into a puzzle that you have to solve. In a sense, it's making you work hard to try and figure out how you are going to spare each monster. This, in my mind, keeps the fights interesting and varied, in a way that most RPGs would only dream of doing. The other mechanic to these fights that keep them interesting is the defense. After you do any action, the enemies will then have a turn to fight back, activating this sort of bullet hell shooter-like scenario. The amount of damage that they can do to you is entirely based on how good you are at dodging all of their various attacks, which I'll admit, I'm not really the best at. This is also given variation as well, since a lot of these enemies have 3 or more different attacks that they will use, and can also combine these said attacks with another enemy's attacks, which in turn makes each fight both exciting, but also pretty difficult, but not in a bad way. I personally feel like any death that I get in this game is just because I suck at it, and not because of some sort of stupid RNG attack, or some sort of needlessly difficult design choice. This type of difficulty helps me as a player to get satisfaction over my own victory. It's the same type of feeling that I tend to experience while I'm playing a game like Dark Souls or Bloodborne, only with, less failure. Oh, and not to mention the boss battles in this game also add even more variety by adding new types of mechanics to the defense bits, such as not moving when an attack is a specific color, shooting bombs to clear away other attacks, using the boss's own attack against them, etc., etc., etc. All these elements combine into what I believe to be a truly unique and well-designed battle system that gives the player plenty of options to work with, which causes each battle to have a certain level of strategy in order to beat it.
Another area that I personally found pretty unique is the way that Undertale tells its story.
Now, I'm not going to go into any spoiler territory here. I personally believe, just like everyone else on the internet, that the best way to experience this story is to play the game knowing as little as possible about it. So, please, comment section, don't spoil it for others. Please. Thank you. So as I said, the way Undertale tells its story, at least in my opinion, is pretty unique. The game starts out pretty simple. You're a human kid who has been brought into a world of monsters, and your ultimate goal is to get back to your home. The way you do that, however, is completely up to you and your decisions, which will lead you down 3 different routes. Neutral route, which does exist by the way, pacifist route, and kill every living thing that you see like your Conan the Barbarian route. And in each route, the character interactions and the events that will happen will change. How you go down each is mainly based on whether or not you kill certain characters or not, which does often cause a lot of these decisions to be black and white. I know for some people they may think of this as being too simple of a decision system, but I'm not bothered by it. Now, I don't want to be that guy who's all like, you have to play the game in order to understand this, but to be honest, yeah, you kinda have to. Trust me, the context of these changes make them way more impressive than they sound.
But do you want to know what makes this story truly stand out in my opinion? It's the characters.
You see, in my mind, characters will usually make or break a story for me. If the story can't make me interested or care about the people in the story, then I lose interest really quickly. Thankfully though, Undertale's characters are pretty good. Each main character is just brimming with personality, and nothing too standard either. Each character is different in the way that they speak, see the world, behave. It feels like they're all individuals. It really does seem like a lot of work was put into making them, and it's because of that I find many of these characters to be very memorable and also pretty likable. Speaking of which, remember Toriel from earlier? Well, you should, because she is... Seriously, I don't think I've ever loved a video game mother character more than her. She is so nice and loving that it literally hurts when the time comes to say goodbye to her and head off on your adventure. I mean, look, she baked a pie for me! For me! A kid she barely knows! I mean, in a usual case, I might be all like,
Stranger danger! Stranger danger! Stranger danger!
but she saved me from that jerk of a flower earlier. She walked me through the traps and genuinely cares about my safety. She's just so great.
You see, it's elements like these that made me really like Undertale as an experience. The unique story, the battle system, the characters, they all made me feel involved in the game. It made me feel like any of my actions would affect the game's world and its plot. So, yeah, all that stuff just incorporated itself into all the good things that I like about Undertale, surprisingly. So is there anything bad about this game? Well...
Personally, the only problem I had with this game was its comedy. Don't get me wrong, this game is really funny with most of its jokes. Like, I would say a good 99% of them have me laughing quite a bit. But there are some, though, that I personally found to be a bit annoying, or too meme-ish. Specifically when Alfie signs you up for Undernet and you see all of her notifications. I had a problem with this, mainly because of how frequent they are, and just how annoying they can seem. I get what the joke is, and at first I found it to be pretty funny, but after a while I just was starting to get bored of going through each dialogue box. Not that there wasn't anything interesting in said dialogue boxes, but I just felt like there could have been just a fewer amount of them.
Overall, I really liked Undertale. Great story, great characters, great gameplay, awesome music. And also some pretty decent visuals as well. I have to say, this is by far one of the best games I have ever played. Easily one of my top 10 favorites of all time. And I'm not just overhyping that, that's actually genuinely how I feel. Believe it or not, this game is only worth $10 on Steam. So if you have any interest at all in trying to play it, I highly recommend that you do so.
But before we close out, let me just ask you, what engine do you think was used to make this game? RPG Maker? Flash? Unreal Engine 4? Nope! The program they used to make this game was Game Maker. Yes, you heard that correctly, Game Maker. Yo-Yo Games, Game Maker. The same tool that was used to create poor games like Crisis City and several other just terrible internet games was used to create this game. Toby Fox, you sir are a friggin' master, and I absolutely love this game that you have made. Good on you, good sir, good on you.
Undertale gets my personal rating of 10 out of 10.
Well, that was a long Undertale video. I just wanted to give a special thank you to my friends Josiah, Clark, and Adamnator for delivering some extra voice clips for this video. Just made this video just a little more special. Thanks, guys. If you want to check out their videos, go ahead and click the annotations on screen, or check out their channel with the links in the description below. And another huge thank you to What Up Nico for the channel's 2016 branding. It looks awesome, man. Thanks, Nico. You're the best. And hey, if you want to check out any of my other videos, I've got 2 videos right there on the screen for you. And if you like this video, don't forget to like and subscribe to see more LegenGary content in the future. Anyway, that's all from me, guys, so I'll see you guys in the next video. Later, dudes!